Hey guys, Damron here. I want to talk today about a heartfelt conversation that I have with patients every single day, and that is invoking change from a place of self-love versus a place of self-hatred. I think that so many of us really struggle with wanting to change ourselves, whether it is our food habits, our body, different aspects of our personality, exercising more, healthy habits, any of those things. But a lot of us come at it from a place of self-hatred, trying to feel like, or feeling like we're not good enough where we currently are, and feeling like we need to change to be better. And I think that we've been fed a lot of that through the personal development and personal growth type of spaces. And I don't even think that it was like in a malicious intent. I think that, we can all be students and grow and learn. And I think that that's part of life and a really positive thing. But I also just want to make sure that everybody realizes that you are okay the way that you are now. You are enough, you are good enough, you are lovable, all of those things, no matter what else is going on right now. And I think that there's almost like this promise of thinking that if we change, we will get more of these things. And I want you to realize that right now, sitting there listening to this, you can be confident. It's a choice. You can be loved. You are worthy. You are enough. All of these different things. So we're going to get into it a little bit more. But if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, hit that button to be notified anytime I post new content related to women's health, hormones, and holistic health. We all know this. Change is hard. Invoking on change is a really hard step, and a lot of people struggle with even just taking that first step, but it requires us to step out of our comfort zone. And I think that intention is everything, and it matters where we start that first step from. Is it, like I said, I mentioned this earlier, is it a place of self-love or is it a place of self-hatred? And I think that will really direct our journey in what it's going to be like for us. I think a lot of us come at a place of change from a place of self-hatred. And I think that we belittle our accomplishments, we criticize our perceived flaws, we negative self-talk all the time. And I've been guilty of these things too. And I'm still not immune to any of this. These are things that I work on on an every single day basis too. When I start to get into those kind of negative mindsets about myself, I try to remember that these are just thoughts, we don't have to believe them. We have tens of thousands of thoughts a day, and really trying to decide which ones I am going to believe is a part of my every single day experience. But I think that when we tell ourselves that we hate ourselves enough, I think we think that that will bring us to be motivated to change enough. And honestly, I couldn't find that further from the truth. I think that self-hatred is demotivating, and I think it's a vicious cycle where we are constantly fighting ourselves, and then we belittle ourselves, and we're trying to escape our own minds from this. But I want you to think about it this way. What if we started thinking about change and from a place of self-love, trying to love ourselves more and give our bodies and our brains and our, mental health, all the things that we need to thrive. And so we'd be changing still and growing and learning, but it would be from a place of self-compassion and love versus a place of self-hatred. I think that, we can celebrate our strengths, acknowledge our own accomplishments, recognize our worthiness and our lovability. I think that those things would be miraculous and would really create more consistency and more peace internally for really all of us. I have a lot of people that come to me for weight loss, and of all different weights, all different sizes, all different dieting histories, all different backgrounds, all different everything. And there can be a woman who another woman would be perceiving as thin, and they hate their own bodies and are trying to lose weight or trying to get toned or trying to build muscle or trying to invoke some sort of change. And the thing is, a lot of us wake up in the morning, we get on the scale, and we're like, oh gosh, that's just like, such a terrible number. It's very triggering for so many of us. And the scale, I think, actually could be a neutral thing. I think there's a lot of ways that we can heal our relationship with the scale, but for a lot of people, it is still a huge trigger and one that sets the tone for the day. And then you go, try on certain jeans or pants, and those are tight, and it just really does, for so many women, set the tone of the day of feeling like a failure, feeling unworthy, feeling demotivated, feeling all of these things. And so then people come to me almost in a state of like desperation of, I need my clothes to fit immediately. I feel so disgusting. I can't stand the way I feel anymore. etc. And it's coming from a place of, I hate the way I look, I hate the way I am, I hate the way I show up. And it really does change the way that we show up. We show up as less confident, we show up as less energetic, we show up as less than ourselves because we just don't feel good. And I have been there, I totally understand that. And it's okay. In my opinion, there's a lot of conversations around this. It's very nuanced. I think it's okay to want to invoke change. I don't think that that's a bad thing inherently, but I think, like I said, let's come at it from a place of self-love. Like if you have a goal of being very strong or building a lot of muscle, like come at it from a positive place of like seeing how much muscle can I build here, or how, toned can I get, or how much weight can I lift, or whatever your goal is, instead of, oh my God, you're so fat, you're so ugly, you're so unworthy, you're just not good enough here. That is coming from a place of self-hatred. So can we sort of have the same goal even, but come at it from a different place? I think that will be much more motivating, and you'll be able to stay much more consistent, because with all of these goals that we have, we all know that no matter if it's weight loss, if it's building a business, if it's, facilitating a relationship, nurturing relationships, parenting, sleep habits, hormonal healing, we all know that consistency is the key. It's not these like bright and shiny objects. It's not these crazy strategies. It's not the new program. It is literally doing the same things that we know to do. The boring stuff still works, and it is being consistent with it over days, weeks, months, and years. Yes, years. When you're trying to heal from trauma and mental health things and trying to help, manage anxiety better and things like that, it really does take years. I have been at this for almost a decade, and I'm a much different person completely than I was a decade ago. So I don't want you to think that I've struggled for an entire decade, but I still work on all of these things every single day and will for the rest of my life. I've sort of succumb to the fact that this is going to be my life's work, to manage my thoughts, manage my stress, check in with myself, walk every day, eat the protein, just do things from a place of self-love, because I know that this is good for me, and I know that I am like depositing money in my 401k of my health versus depleting it every single day. So that's really how I look at it now, is like, what are these little tiny things that I can do each and every day to plan for my future? One of the best questions that I ask myself, that I have done over the last several years, is ask myself what my future self would think of these decisions. So that goes both good and bad, right? That's not crash dieting, because my future self is not going to be happy with that. It's going to rebound in a big way. I already have proven that to myself numerous times. I'm, sometimes going to push myself out of my cozy bed and get up and work out in the morning. But also, if I've had a really awful night's sleep and I'm just not feeling good, I'm under the weather, I'm very fatigued, I also am going to realize, if you work out, like that's going to take every single ounce of energy from you right now. And you're probably going to have a less than par day today. You're going to have a subpar day because you're going to be low energy because you did push yourself at 5 a.m. to get this workout in. I also think about it, going to bed. Would I like to stay up till 11 or 12 each night when the kids go to bed and just veg out and really numb out from the day? Yes, I would. But I also know that's not going to serve me very well the next day. And I have patients to take care of. I have children to take care of. I have a house, a marriage, a body. I want to show up differently than that. And so no judgment or shame, no matter what decisions you're making, but ask yourself, what would your future self think of this decision? It can happen with food and alcohol and all of the things. And think about yourself in 20 minutes from now. Think about yourself in an hour, the next day, the next week. Think about these decisions and how they're impacting you, because we all live in a society where this like shiny object syndrome is definitely big, and instant gratification is definitely huge too. And so sometimes we make decisions quickly on things that aren't going to serve us as well in the future. And again, elicit this change and this idea from a place of self-love. And I think that question to me has really helped me do that, because it is like really checking in and really deciding if these things that I'm going to do are going to serve me. You can ask yourself about social functions and events too, like if going to this thing tonight is going to serve you or make things worse. Is this extra, alcoholic beverage going to serve you tomorrow or not? And be honest with yourself. Like, yeah, I think I can handle another one and be just fine how I want to show up tomorrow. Or no, I think I've had, enough tonight. I really want to do that thing tomorrow. So I'm probably not going to take this other or drink this other drink. I think it can be in a lot of different ways, but I want you to really think about this. Think about what you're living for, how you're living, the decisions you're making, what your goals are, and are they coming from a place of loving yourself, showing yourself compassion, or are they coming from a place of hating yourself? And I think that can really, really resonate with a lot of you, I hope, to really get your priorities and your goals set straight so that you know what you're working toward. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have friends and family who could use this message, who have struggled with this in the past, I think we all have in some capacity, and I'm sure that everyone else that we know has too. So share this with your friends and family if this resonates, and I'll see you guys in the next one.